And I have a very special guest with me today. Her name is Heidi Cooley. And Heidi, where are you located and where are you from?
Quail Run, and we are located in Columbus, Indiana.
Well, thank you. You're the property manager over there.
Yes, ma'am.
And how long have you been with the company?
Gosh, I think 4 weeks now. Maybe going on 6.
Okay, so she's a newbie. So you get to play that new card, I always say, for about a year.
Right.
You really are new, aren't you?
I don't know. I didn't do that.
You should definitely play the new card. You say yes, ma'am, and y'all talk real Southern down there, which I didn't know that was a thing until I started working here.
Yes, I should have brought my cowboy hat for today.
So Indiana, I'm terrible at geography, so I think it's kind of south.
It is south. It's southeast, I think, technically.
Okay. So I need to look at a map. Maybe we can. Maybe
we both do now.
Students in the U.S. are terrible at geography.
Because I'm questioning myself.
So Heidi, you got to join us during our resource launch, and what did you think about just coming to the corporate office and hanging out with us and all that stuff?
Actually, I've said it to several people as far as the onboarding and the experience of just coming on, but to a new company, but from day one. I mean, Jean and Michelle from Fountainhead and, everybody from corporate office called and introduced themselves and just have made the whole experience very comfortable, very welcoming, and just it's definitely one of the best onboardings I've ever done with any company.
Well, we are glad you're here. It just wouldn't be the holidays without entertaining guests and making new friends.
So it's been wonderful.
That is amazing to hear. That's so amazing. I think onboarding for any company is really, really difficult. And so that's good to hear that maybe we're improving and getting things right and making you feel welcome.
Yes.
That warms the cockles of my heart.
Thing. Yeah. Yes. You can tell it's a genuine welcome. It means a lot.
With Resource, what are you most excited about when it comes to Resource?
Gosh, the policies and procedures, that's one thing that I'm super excited about. And she and I worked together prior to this. And the company that we worked for had no policies, no procedures, nothing. Yeah. And, you just had to wing it. So we went from there to here, and, there's a policy and procedure for everything here, which is good.
Yeah,
so
it is good.
Shelly made a statement the other day. She said, well, heck, they probably got a policy and procedure how to get to the bathroom, how to lock the door, and... Which wasn't good. It wasn't a bad, wasn't a bad statement.
Yeah.
It's funny. I started when I was 19, and I'll be 40 this year.
Okay, so you started when you were 19. And
I did.
Did you? How did you get roped into property management? I always like to hear that story.
I moved to Washington State, and the apartments that we moved into, a friend of mine, I made a friend there, and she was a property manager, and she said, "I think you would do really well at leasing." And I was looking for a job, so it worked out. And I've tried to leave the industry, I think 2 or 3 times, and it always sucks you back in. Always. Yeah.
It's going to reach its tentacles out and grab you. That's kind of how I feel about every single person that I talk to that's in this industry. Yeah, they accidentally end up in property management or oh, I slipped on a rock and I ended up in property management. Whoops. What is the craziest property management story that you have to share with us? What's the craziest thing?
Oh, gosh. Walking in on a naked dead guy.
You walked in on a naked dead guy. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. It was probably, it's still stained in my mind. Like,
yeah. Oh,
and I shouldn't be laughing, but.
No, but that's scarring.
Weird.
That's like therapy worthy.
My youngest is 10.
Oh, wow. Okay,
And
so there's quite a span.
He's convinced he's a preteen, so I just let him go with it. Because I'm like, I don't really know technically. I guess it's, 12?
Yeah. I mean, a preteen, yeah, probably 11, 12 or something like that, maybe.
Yeah. They're, double digits, I guess, is in his mind. So,
oh, because he went from being 9 to 10, yeah. Well, and I think, too, when you're the youngest of a family and you have older siblings, it's so easy to keep those kids innocent when they're like the first child, but when they're the third or the fourth, it's like, I just remember
you're handing them off to the gas man.
Yeah, you're like, here you go. Because I remember with my first son, my oldest, he's 27 now, but I was like, he didn't have caffeine until he was 10. I was very strict about what he ate, and he was always just dressed so perfectly, everything met. And then by the time the fourth one comes around, I was literally like, oh, you're 3 and you're watching South Park? All right. I guess that's what, you know what I mean? I'm just like, how do you even stop them from being exposed to a lot of things? Because their siblings are doing all this stuff, so I was exaggerating.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that probably did happen a couple times when I was like, that's not okay. You're not even supposed to be watching South Park. So.
Son, my 21-year-old, we were going to do his nursery in South Park. I was obsessed with them. Of course, that was years ago, but.
That's amazing. That would be an amazing, the baby nursery in South Park theme.
I never could figure out why I couldn't find it.
You're like, I don't know. There should just be a whole array of South Park nursery items and South Park comforters and pacifiers and just kidding.
I want my mom.
Anyway, so South Park Nursery, it's a new product line that's coming out. Heidi has started a new company, the South Park Nursery line. So get your South Park items for your new baby on her Etsy store.
Oh, man. Sometimes I should withhold information. I'm just one of those people. I'm just like, here it is.
Diddly do, diddly do, diddly do, diddly do. Well, Heidi, it's so fun to get to hang out with you and spend time, and hopefully one day I'll get to be coming to Indiana so I can learn some of those Southern manners.
You're funny.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, that's probably breaking 32 fair housing rules right now, but to talk about someone's accent.
I won't tell anybody.
You don't care.
Okay. I'm not offended.
Okay.
No,
well, we have accents too, and we probably sound like a bunch of weirdos to you.
I love your guys' accent. It reminds me of people in New York and New Jersey. I've always thought it was so cool. It's better than sounding like a hilljack.
Well, I'm not sure. I really like the Southern accent myself, but I think we sound like, no offense to us, I think we sound like idiots. But, and it's to me, the least sexy accent in the world. French, a French woman's accent, Australian, right? And then you've got, oh yeah, you like that hot dish, that. We sound so ridiculous. Anyway.
Oh my God. You've had me laughing this whole time. You're going to have to edit some of that out. Because I look like a freak.
Well, and Southern people with the Southern accent, everything you say just sounds even funnier because if you say it in a Southern accent.
Want some corn?
Yeah. So anyway, well, I'm so thankful that you hung out with me today, and we will, we'll talk more later, but thanks for joining me on the Friday Nag. We'll see you guys next week. Say hello to Heidi if you happen to see her in a manager's meeting or you want to shoot her an email just to say hello. She's brand new to our team, so thank you, Heidi, for hanging out with us. And we'll see you next time on the Friday Nag. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Bye.